We spend decades grinding through our careers, fighting daily battles, saving and investing with one specific goal in mind, reaching a point where we can finally stop. We want our final years to be safe, easy, and comfortable. Around 3,000 years ago, the Israelites were reaching a similar finish line. The long, grueling military conquest of Canaan was finally drawing to a close, and the leaders were dividing up the captured territory. This is when an 85-year-old veteran named Caleb steps forward. He is a historical anomaly. He survived 4 decades in a hostile wilderness and has outlived nearly every single person from his generation. Logically, Caleb has earned his rest. As a senior statesman and war hero, he has the right to claim a fertile, well-watered, and entirely peaceful stretch of plains where he can finally relax. Instead, he actively rejects the comfortable plains. He approaches the leadership and demands the rights to the hill country of Hebron. Take a look at this landscape. These arid, rocky inclines are physically brutal to navigate. It is an inherently hostile environment for an 85-year-old man. But the geography is only the first problem. At this specific moment, Hebron is heavily fortified and actively occupied by the Anakim, a tribe of literal giants known for their military prowess. Why would a man who has clearly earned a quiet rest actively choose the deadliest mountain and the most fearsome enemies for his final years? The answer lies in a specific psychological and spiritual discipline that Caleb practiced. The biblical text highlights it repeatedly. He followed God with wholehearted devotion, maintaining unbroken, undivided attention on his calling for 45 continuous years. To understand how difficult that is, look at the internal obstacles. If Caleb focused on the biological reality of his 85-year-old body, he would naturally succumb to the limitations of aging and seek safety. Then there are the external obstacles. These massive, rocky desert canyons and steep drop-offs present a psychologically terrifying environment. Staring at the sheer scale of this terrain would make almost anyone retreat. Caleb solved both problems through intentional blindness. He achieved his undivided attention by choosing to look exclusively at a promise God had made to him decades earlier, intentionally ignoring both his internal physical decay and the external military threats. There is a secular parallel that captures this exact intensity. In the classical Chinese epic, The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, there is a veteran military commander named General Huang Zhong. Like Caleb, Huang Zhong was fighting well into his twilight years. His defining ethos was an absolute belief that the highest honor for a man is to be wrapped in horsehide, meaning to die actively charging into battle for his lord, rather than dying quietly in bed. Caleb's request for Hebron operates on that exact same frequency. He isn't looking for a peaceful exit. He is seeking the honor of dying mid-charge, actively claiming the territory God promised him. Caleb's audacious request operates on a highly specific 3-part theological framework. The base layer is God's faithfulness, a 45-year-old promise possessing the same power today. Built on top is saints' perseverance, a continuous loop of trusting and acting that never expires. The top is human dignity, a supreme calling stretching far beyond simple biological survival. When you put these 3 pieces together, the ultimate goal becomes clear: to honor and glorify God up until the very last breath you take. Caleb's demand to fight giants on a mountain at 85 is the logical conclusion of this framework. It is the ultimate expression of a human fulfilling their designed, lifelong structural purpose. For the believer, this establishes a definitive rule. You have to look at your current landscape and identify your own Hebron. You need to find the next hard calling God is asking you to take on, regardless of how intimidating the giants look. Success is defined by riding the horse of faith with unbroken focus until your final moment, leaving every ounce of strength on the field.